And this worked too. I tried making some air pots. And the theory was supposed to be that they stick their roots through and then the air prunes them off and then produces thicker root growth inside the root ball.
And these are air pots that I made out of panda film with my soldering iron. So they're pretty cool for starting plants, I find. And this is the size of the root ball that is really efficient. So on the right, you've got your compact root ball, and see how there's not much transport to take the nutrients and things to where it needs to get. And we grow annuals too. And on the left is a perennial. So, you know, that's big, massive. Fair enough for that. And this is showing you the different wetting zones for your roots. So if you grow big roots, you know, you have to make sure that it's going to get fed too, and down to that level. This is the different substrates on the right hand side. So clay, see how it just sits there, loam, it's mixed, and in sand it's very filters out. And you can train the roots. So see for this perennial here, it's got two emitters there on the sides, and you can grow into it. Like this one here, it's got 4 plants and 2 emitters, and they just grow towards it as well. And there's 3 different ways that you can represent the soil moisture, and that's saturated, field capacity, and permanent wilting point. And you want to be between field capacity and permanent wilting point. And this one's a chart. So at the top is field capacity, and then permanent wilting points down the bottom. So yes, and this is the difference shown on the bottom. Shows you the different substrates and how quick that they will go leach out their water. And this, I love this one. So at the top left, saturated soil, so it has equal pressure. And you go into field capacity, it's just negative a little bit. And wilting point, shitloads, because see there's a lot of air. And then on the right hand side represents the water to the air ratio. And field capacity, we'll go through that, and that's the sufficient pore space when it's filled with air, and it allows optimum aeration of most aerobic microbial activity and for most plants. But remember that plants get their oxygen that way, so you don't want to have too much water in there. Permanent wilting point is when the soil dries and the rate at which plant water removal may fail to keep up with the water loss. So that's when it's going to wilt and the stomata shuts, and it starts to release abscisic acid, and it starts to go into its drought phase. It's not good at all. It slows growth. There's 5 ways of measuring your soil water. So gravimetric, tensiometric, nuclear technique, electromagnetic, and remote sensing. Gravimetric, you get the wet, you weigh it, put it in the oven, weigh it after it comes out when it's dry, minus them, times it by 100, and that's your percent, or what it is. But it takes 24 hours. Look at it, too long. And the tensiometric, big ass probe, but 2 to 3 hours again. You know, it's too long for me. And nuclear, well, it's got radioactivity properties in it, so yeah, I don't want to play with that. Same with this one, the gamma. That's not for me. But this one's cool, electromagnetic. So there's 2 types of that. There's a resistive one, and that's 2 to 3 hours. Pretty expensive too, but I use this one, the capacity, if that's rad. So it's got a U-shaped probe, and they last about 12 to 18 months. They're only about $3 each, and they go to a digital display. It's very reliable, LED display. Really good for flushing. Really handy to know where your soil's at. And this is a time domain reflectometer, and that's good for the field if you want to be going out. Just like a frequency domain reflectometer, same thing. And if you've got a plane, you can whack a microwave and do some sensing on that. Just wanted to film the roots from the totes. Zoomed in, nope, that's them there. And you can see where the up bits were, and this is the down bits, because I drained the holes in the up bits, so there'd be a bit of water in the down bits, and look, it seemed to work. Look at it. Zoom. Works quite well. And I'm just comparing the sizes. There's a 2-gallon and a 3-gallon pot. So a solid 2 of them, I'd say. Maybe 3/4 of a 3-gallon. These had 2 plants in each and worked really, really well. This is a dry one. Quite good.